going on right here. Check this shit out. Morning, people, as I'm getting ready to set my little daily podcast. My daily live up, separate from the podcast. Saturday morning. It's about 10:40. I didn't get my ass to bed till about 4 a.m. So, I guess it's still morning. On a regular day, this would be afternoon for myself because I'll be up early. Started off with this, man. We going Jay Fetty.
I'ma stay on the gas, they thought I was straight. Everything I brought to the table, I was flipping. Money ain't a thing, like I'm Jay.
My bad.
I'ma go to the market, gotta come and see me. I'ma stay on the gas, they thought I was stripping. Everything I brought to the table, I was flipping. Money ain't a thing, like I'm Jay and JD. I'ma go to the market, gotta come and see me. Yeah, why you playing? You know I'm a nigga. Every time I show up, I do it real big. Yeah, I focus, not another net hitter. Got a team that's dope. Skirt, trying to stun on me, get the feelings hurt. Say no boy got
coffee.
He on paperwork.
Rise and grind.
Yeah, speaking reckless, see the plot.
When I say grind, I'm not talking about going outside selling no dope. Get your ass up, your lungs working, your muscles moving. See what you got going in the day.
Didn't see my pedigree, not a damn motherfucker could play it me. Yeah, you better do your research. I got a pass, I didn't put in that work. Fetty, reporting straight from that stop sign. Get your life done deal, playing with mine. Yeah, I'ma stay on the gas, they thought I was straight. Everything I brought to the table, I was flipping. Money ain't a thing, like I'm Jay and JD. I'ma go to the market, gotta come and see me. I'ma stay on the gas, they thought I was stripping. Everything I brought to the table, I was flipping. Money ain't a thing, like I'm Jay and JD. I'ma go to the market, gotta come and see me. Yeah, 28 you from the G, block heavy on the nigga. Wanna double up, come fuck with me, nigga.
It's a delay. They got a delay in the live. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think it's a 2-minute delay on the live. I didn't know that. And my shit's in the record. So I'm checking out. I'm learning right now with little tweaks. Turn that down, son. I'm learning a little tweaks on the live right now on the Facebook. I'm trying to get this shit straight so I can bring y'all a little magic and gadgets. Where's the magic? Where is the magic at? Yeah, I just woke up about a few minutes ago, 30 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago. So I'm still tired, wiping shit out my eyes, got to wipe my face down. My question is, are there any military personnel on my Facebook? Anybody from the military right now?
Baby mama steady stressing me. Trump's laws keep arresting me. This mob living be my
Looking for military out there. Is there any military out there?
It's a jungle wild here and I cannot be tamed. Stay on the block, fleet, flicking quarter chickens the whole thing. But I need every dollar, no sense to make change. More rebel, play the heavy metal, military issue that hardware, supposed to class.
So it's like a 2-minute delay on the live. 2-minute delay. And I don't have the greatest connection out here because I'm kind of far. TFL Truth for Life. What it do? What's up, bro? My brother in God. What's happening, Lloyd Blood? I remember West Park over the ramp. Lloyd, you, my brother, have been doing this music for quite a while, brother. I'm talking about 8th and 9th grade, actually. 8th and 9th grade, I remember you getting down with music. I'm looking for any military out there. I want to chop it up with somebody from the military. If I got any military friends on this Facebook thing, I'm trying to go live with you right now. And my live, apologize. You know this live is my network connection is not that great, so my live is being interrupted. If it click, don't even trip. It's gonna pop right back on. So, any military personnel out there, I want to talk about what's going on, what information you have on this weird all of a sudden out of nowhere attack on the Middle East. Supposedly Trump gave the orders. I don't know what goes on with that. Did Trump give the order? Was that Trump? I heard it was a drone. I heard a drone came over there and smacked one of the main military personnel over there, one of the lieutenants. But I really haven't went online yet. But I've been watching other people's coverage on it. That nigga JT, the bigger figure, been speaking on it. He say he in Africa. No, I'm not in the town right now. I'm not in the town right now. I'm not in the Bay Area. I'm far, far away. My bad. Far away from the Bay. My bad. Alright, fuck it. We gonna check some of this out before we can get somebody on from the military personnel, one of my friends from the military. So I'm just gonna go right here. And I'm gonna look up U.S. military. U.S. military drone strike. Military drone strike. That's what I'm gonna look up. U.S. military drone strikes. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look up recent U.S. military drone strike. Let's see what pop up. So I'm seeing one topic is a top story. One topic is his top story this morning. The headline reads, Trump says Iranian military leader was killed by a drone strike to stop a war. And then he gonna warn, then he warns Iran not to retaliate. Do you think Iran's gonna retaliate? Because I think Iran's gonna retaliate. I think Iran's definitely gonna retaliate. U.S. drone strike ordered by Trump kills top Iranian commander in Baghdad. In Baghdad. Bombs over Baghdad. Okay. So I remember that. Remember back in the 90s, it was at the 90s, we had what's they call? Outkast. The group Outkast with Andre 3000 and Big Boy. They had a song called Bombs in Baghdad. So we've been funking with these dudes for years. We've been funking with these dudes since my older brother Bob went to the military. And that was Desert Storm. And I think that came on from Bush. I think Bush Daddy, if I remember correctly, I'm not checking this out, so don't quote me, but I think Bush Daddy overcame an assassination attempt. And the son wasn't going for it. So we went over there and dropped some bombs over there then. This was in the 90s. Early 90s. 91? Was that war in 91? What was it called? That was Operation Desert Storm, if I remember correctly. Operation Desert Storm, I'm like 10 years old, 9 years old. Something like that. 8 years old, 9, 10 years old. People, we gotta stay on top of current events. Oh shit, here go my song by Mo. Money Over Everything. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all listen to this entire song because I'm kind of in love with this song right here. Let's run that back, Mo Rope. Everybody brown is a terrorist. Best believe I'm into it. Laying low. Let me get this shit together. Got bam. I'm gonna let y'all hear this whole thing. Little bruh Jeremy, what's up, blood? Love you, blood. Let y'all hear this while I go search my network. Yeah. Oh, we revolutionaries. Know that we revolutionaries.
That's why the realest that I fuck with only come from the hood. I kept it kosher, kept it 100 from the fucking gate. Life is a bitch, you can't hide from your fucking fate. I spit the truth, bro, I don't know nothing else. Too many fake folk, that's why I ride for my soul. I feel the vibes, I can see how you hit it. I slide through wife up with no time for these bitches. I need money like a dolphin, need pride. That's ASAP right now, run it, I need that. Money,
And this was on the first of the fucking year when they did that. So they waited to the very first of the year. Does anybody know exactly when the tax season ends? Is it December 31st? January 1st? Does anybody know? I know you got to get your taxes in by April, but so I think the leader name over there was Soleimani. Soleimani, something like that. Soleimani. That was the name of the leader over there that Trump, Soleimani, Soleimani, Soleimani. They're answering questions, and the question is, does the president have to consult with Congress before acting against an individual or a country that poses an immediate threat, actually attacking a U.S. citizen, or is consultation with Congress just good management and leadership? Okay, so when we have an immediate attack on America, the president is not legally bound to consult with the Congress. When an act of national defense is deemed an emergency, I think that's a loophole. That's a loophole.
A lot of pain up in my chest. My mama struggled for years, cause she ain't have a man around and she raised.
That's a loophole.
I was trapped in the trap.
That means that all the president has to do is say we have a breach of national defense, and he's able to do whatever he wants to do without the permission of Congress or the people. That's what that means. So, and for y'all that don't know, for you guys that don't know, selling drugs is considered terrorism. It's crazy. So selling drugs is considered terrorism. For y'all that don't know, America sells a lot of dope. America sells all kind of dope. So America selling dope in the form of pills, in the form of these different medications, over-the-counter medications. I remember about 10 years ago, they just allowed about 10 years ago, they just allowed not fake medication, what's that called? The knockoff medications to be sent to America. They didn't used to allow them to be sent to America. Now they allow them to be sent to America. Some with Canada, if I remember correctly. Some with Canada allows them to send medications through the mail. So America and these big ass companies, these pharmaceutical companies, are trying to get everybody hooked off dope. America's a bunch of dope fiends. America's a bunch of dope fiends. And your big dealer is the American government. That's the big dealer. Just like weed. Ain't nothing different. Got all you niggas off dope. And then made the shit legal. The weirdest place I went to, one of the weirdest places, I was in Portland, Oregon, not too long ago. In Portland, Oregon. And they have methadone clinics. And that's some type of, I'm not sure what so let's see. And if I remember correctly, it was called crank. That was like a biker drug, more of a white culture type drug. That's what it was. It wasn't too many blacks doing no crystal meth or doing crank at that time. But I seen it. I've seen it back then. Definitely. Actually. So that's some weird shit. Now you got all these people off in the hood off crystal meth in the inner city. Y'all break away from that shit, man. You gotta break away from that shit. That shit worse than crack. Yeah, that shit worse than crack. I remember coming up, crystal meth, ecstasy, and heroin may be considered by the law as an attempted murder. Yeah, attempted murder. That's what it was back then. I remember hearing that back then. And we talking about the 2000, the 90 era. Then guess what? You know, they did the little war on drugs back then when I was a kid. And they did that over crack cocaine. But back in the 80s, any of my OGs can contest to this. Back in the 80s, they didn't know what the fuck crack cocaine was. They didn't know what that shit was. They didn't have no defense of it. And people and they didn't have no laws against it. You can get caught with crack, and they didn't know what the fuck to do with it. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know what the fuck it was. Good ass coffee, black, no sugar, no cream. That's what's in my cup. No sugar, no cream is in my cup. Rise and grind. All right, back to my military rant. I'm just going over right now some topics, some current events, and some headliners. Let me see this. Let me turn this down a little bit. Put that in the background, y'all. Put that music in the background. Because I see something here. What they talking about?
Now his terrorist leadership has been ended.
Let's start this over. They talking about his terrorist leadership.
John, I can't talk too much about the
Listen to this. I can't show y'all this, but y'all can hear this.
President Trump's decision to remove Qasem Soleimani from the battlefield saved American lives. There's no doubt about that. He was actively plotting in the region to take actions, a big action as he described it, that would have put dozens, if not hundreds of American lives at risk.
For too long.
Y'all hear that?
For too long.
Let's run that back.
This evil man operated.
The evil man.
John, I can't talk too much about the nature of the threats, but the American people should know that President Trump's decision to remove Qasem Soleimani from the battlefield saved American life.
He cannot talk too much about the threats. Who is this speaking? This is the Secretary of State. This is the Secretary of State right here. He's talking about he don't want to go too much into what was endangering American lives, but he said that this man was endangering American lives from the battlefield. Of course, motherfucker, if you in a war, and this nigga's a military leader, he definitely gonna be a threat to the Americans. Duh. Anybody who's at war with America or in a battle with America is gonna be a threat. I smell bullshit.
John, I can't talk too much about the nature of the threats, but the American people should know.
I smell
the
bullshit.
President's decision to remove Qasem Soleimani from the battlefield saved American lives. There's no doubt about that. He was actively plotting in the region to take actions, a big action as he described it, that would have put dozens, if not hundreds, of American lives at risk.
For too long.
Listen to this.
This evil man operated without constraint, and countless.
You hear that? They're using the word evil. Evil man. Evil man. They're using the word evil man. You hear that? So anybody who got a problem with America is evil. That's what they're saying. The evil man.
Innocent have suffered for it. Now his terrorist leadership
My bad.
has been ended.
But it's true.
Now, predictably enough, in this political environment, the operation that led to Soleimani's death may prove controversial or divisive.
It is my view that the president does not have the authority for a war with Iran. If he plans a large increase in troops and potential hostility over a longer time,
Oh, yeah.
the administration will require congressional approval and the approval of the American people. The president's decision may add to an already dangerous and difficult situation in the Middle East. The risk of a much longer military engagement in the Middle East is acute
We've been there for
and
decades.
immediate.
How significant is this? We killed the most powerful man in Iran, short of the Ayatollah. He was the right fist of the Ayatollah, and we took the Ayatollah's arm off.
This is a president who has...
They said they tore the Ayatollah's arm off.
When it comes to making us a more of a safe nation. And now, potentially, we're going to see what the fallout of this is and see if indeed it's part of a larger strategy, which unfortunately with his record, I doubt it is.
That's the Senator Cory Brook. That was the Senator Cory Brook.
Would make the war in Iraq and even Afghanistan look like a picnic. It will be far more costly and devastating in American lives and in taxpayer dollars. And I don't believe the American people want to go to war.
As we all remember,
They definitely don't want to me sitting here.
to end endless wars. Tragically, his actions now put us on the path to another war.
Bernie Sanders.
Potentially one that could be even worse.
That's the burn. That's Bernie Sanders
We
talking.
have learned nothing else from the Middle East in the last 20 years. It's that taking out a bad guy is not a good idea unless you are ready for what comes next.
I think it's really important for New Yorkers to understand that we are now potentially facing a threat that's different and greater than anything we have faced previously.
His sole job was
Different and greater.
export terrorism throughout the Middle East and do so in Iraq. To be caught right there in Baghdad is appropriate. But it also shows that this president, using our military, our intelligence, our State Department, doesn't draw red lines.
But in real time, making these decisions, you can't make a decision to take out a key general by committee. It just doesn't work that way. It never has worked that way, and candidly can't work that way in the future.
We're not going to lament his death, but the question is
A key general.
has to be answered.
They just
by
assassinated that
administration
man.
next week when Congress comes back. into
America
session.
assassinated. Trump assassinated that man.
We have had other moments in which we could have taken Soleimani out. We did not.
Soleimani, that's his name. His name is Soleimani. That's the man that America just took out, killed. That's the man Trump just knocked off. His name's Soleimani. They say he's the second man over there. Ayatollah's right arm, they said. So that's the second man in line. Y'all killed the second most important man in Iran because he was a bad guy. Because he put Americans in danger. Not that he did anything to any Americans at that time, but he increased the danger of American citizens. That's what they say. Come on, let's bust back to here. Here go Trump. Let me run this back a little bit. Here go Trump.
To America, the Iranians like to taunt us because they don't have, like, respect for our leaders. I hate seeing President Obama today saying that Iran has violated our agreement. I mean, what did he think? He's now complaining about Iran violating the agreement. What the hell did he think? He's like a baby. They become emboldened.
He called
because they don't
President Obama a baby.
And all they do is scream death to America, death to America. And by the way, they're not screaming it so much anymore. They were screaming it with him. They don't scream it with me. And when they signed that deal, they were screaming death to America. Do you remember? Death to America. How do you sign a deal when they're screaming death to America? They don't talk that way anymore. They're a nation of terror.
Trump is a straight savage. That nigga's a bully like a motherfucker.
Unstoppable, and now they're in deep, deep trouble. When President Obama signed that horrible deal, they were screaming death to America. I haven't been hearing that lately. Iran is a much different country than 2.5 years ago. When I took over, Iran was all over. And now they just want to, they want to negotiate a deal so bad.
Dookie. Hey, blood.
When I took over the United States, when I became president, Iran was a real
Hey, you know what? Dookie. I went in my car the next morning. Actually, yesterday morning. When was that? That was yesterday morning. I went in my car. And I found these motherfuckers in my car. So I must have picked them up off your shit. My bad, blood, for real. My bad. My bad. I got you, blood. You know what I'm saying? I got you. Yo, so y'all hear that? We got, apparently, Trump is a gangster. Trump is a gangster. And I'm listening to dude, and this nigga sound like he's a gangster.
Do you think that Speaker Pelosi should be willing to hold the articles until February or even longer?
I think the Speaker should do what's necessary in order to make sure that there is, in fact, a fair proceeding that takes place in the United States Senate. This is about an impeachment proceeding for the President of the United States.
Okay, so we got Trump being impeached. We got the new year. We have the new vote coming up, the new presidency this year. And all of a sudden, on the first day of the year, the first day of the year, we smack somebody over there. What does that remind me of? Okay, so I decided to drop shout out to Shay D of SIC, Freddie 2Ps of SIC. I decided to drop